Okay, this video is about how to merge your partitions slash how to delete a partition and then expand another one. So you can either, it's both to show how to increase the size of the partition, which also decrease the other size, or it's also to show you how to basically merge partitions. And Leopard makes it very easy for you to do that. And so what we're going to do is first we're going to go up to utilities, and then we're going to go to disk utility. So grab disk utility right here, open this puppy up, and we're going to grab, so right here, iData. I don't really need that partition anymore, and iBackup, I need to increase that size because right now it's just the size of my hard drive, and you need to have it larger than the hard drive. You need to have it a lot larger if you're using Time Machine, but so I'm just going to do this. So basically just click on the actual entire hard drive right here, and you're going to click on partition, and this is in disk utility. And what you see here is you see the three partitions. You have iBackup, you click on that, and then you see 111 gigabytes. And then you have iData, which is only 10 gigabytes, which is pathetic. And then you have iTiger, which is 30 gigabytes. Okay, so basically I just want to get rid of iData. So all you do is you just click on iData, click on the minus sign, and it says removing this volume will permanently erase the data from the volume. This volume will be erased. iData. These volumes will not be erased. iBackup, iTiger. No other changes to your disk will be made. Are you sure you wish to partition the disk STC? You basically click remove. And now it's going to remove that partition, and it's going to come back and have the two partitions. And so now you see the two partitions, and basically you can just click on this, and you can just increase that size so it takes over, that 10 gigabytes that was there. And so now we have 123 for iBackup instead of the 111. And then all you do is click and apply. So it's pretty easy. It looks as though you cannot do that with the third partition. If we were to go back, that's 102. That's less than I had. It just makes I guess it merges with the previous one. So it's the disk 1, disk 2, disk 3. It gives the availability of that space back to the one that was created before it. So because it looks like this third one is on its own. Anyway, or maybe what could be done is go like, oh, that creates another partition. We don't want to do that. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. We're going to increase the partition. So we're increasing that partition size to 123. This one we're going to just max out at 30. And that's it. So we're at two partitions right now. You can make 3, 4, you can do whatever. Okay, that wasn't what we wanted. Let's go back to current. And again, we are going to click on this, drag it down, increase it to 123. Tiger already has its 30.7. And so we're good to go. Two partitions. All right, click apply. Partition disk will change one of the volumes. No volumes will be erased. This volume will be resized. iBackup partition. So it's going to repartition it. It's going to go away from the desktop for a second. It's going to repartition it. It's repartitioning right now, and it's adding about 10 gigabytes to the partition. And we'll be good to go. So that's pretty much it. I'm not sure how long this is going to take, so I don't know if I want to hang on this video. But anyway, it's pretty easy. Okay, it's a disk utility, very, very easy to do in Leopard. This is in Leopard. You can't do it in Tiger, but this is in Leopard, and it's a great way to just merge partitions and also, of course, delete one of the partitions. And that's it. Thanks a lot. Enjoy. Okay, this is a continuation from the previous video that I just did, which was how to merge partitions / delete a partition and increase the size of the other one to overtake what the deleted partition was. Basically what happened was iBackup was the one that I was supposed to save, and when I double click on it, there's nothing in there. However, it only says 21 gigabytes available, which means the data is still there, but it just can't be seen for whatever reason. So I'm going to give Apple a call. It's too late to call them now, but I just want to show you now what this looks like. So because I'm going to be setting up Time Machine tonight, and it's going to have data here. So I just want to show you that it looks blank. 21 gigabytes available. Just to show to you, you right-click, go to Get Info of the iBackup. It shows right here, capacity 122, available 21, used 101. However, how can it, it's saying it's used 101. Where's the data? There's no data here. So not sure exactly what happened. Apple said that it would remain intact, it wouldn't format it, but apparently it did something. So I'm going to give them a call and see what happened, and I'll attach it at the end of this video. But I just want to show you guys what it looked like. Blank screen, still says the data is there. What's the deal? All right. Okay, I just wanted to say there's one thing I missed telling you guys, and that is when you do this, when you resize the disk partition with Leopard 10.5, that's the operating system for Leopard, for the Mac. It says, important, resizing a partition will erase all data on it. So you should be sure to back up important files infecting our partitions first, which is accurate, because what happened was my drive that had a whole bunch of data, there's nothing here. Even though it says 21.72 gigabytes available, and if you go to Get Info, it will say that there's the capacity is 122. The data's still there, but it's the reference to it has been deleted, so it's pretty much deleted. So I just want to let you guys know that, so that you know to back up your data before you resize the partition. It doesn't. It's not intact. It does erase the data, or at least the reference to it. Okay, just want to put that little tidbit in for you. Take care. Okay, I just wanted to give you an update. What happened was I rebooted the computer and I hit the Option key to hold down. I held down the Option key to choose a disk from which to boot, and it just so happened that I back up. Even though I showed you earlier that that the data, supposedly was not there anymore, even though it was still showing that it was taking up space, you could no longer see it. What happened was when I booted up. Again, when I restarted the computer, it came up as one of the drivers that I could boot from. So I decided to try it out, and so I selected it, booted up, and it booted up fine. I could go in, and it looked perfect. It worked beautifully. And then I booted up into my Tiger partition and looked at the iBackup partition, and the data was there. And then I booted up into my internal hard drive, and now it's there. So for whatever reason, when I booted up into it, it made the references files that show the data it made it appear again, made the data appear. So that's fantastic. So not only did my data remain intact, but also it resized it correctly, because it's 21 gigabytes is available. And then if you go to right-click, go to Get Info, and it comes up with 122 gigabytes capacity, and it used to be 111. So it certainly did work. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work if your partition is just data and not the boot up, not a bootable partition, because obviously my guess is when I booted up into the drive, it obviously activated the file so it could boot up. I'm not sure exactly what would happen with the data, because Apple does state that you would lose your data if you resize the partition. So you can do it at your own risk. I would definitely back up your data before you do it, but you can certainly try it and see what happens. And if you want, you can send me a message to let me know whether or not it worked out for you. Okay, and also it also mentions in the documentation that it's not going to work with a partition that has an MBR. The MBR is the master boot record, and it's on the first sector, and this actually is the first partition, and it worked with this one. Maybe it's referring to your internal drive. You can't resize that, but of course you can't resize it when you're using it, because you're using it, and apparently it's supposed to erase your data, and you can't erase anything that you're using. So maybe that's what they're referring to. And even when you go into utilities, and then go to disk utility, and then click on the internal drive, it'll tell you that you can't erase anything from the drive, which is obvious. But if you go to partitions to resize it, it'll say this volume is a starter volume, it cannot be erased. So that's pretty obvious. Anyway, so I just want to give you guys an update, let you know that it did work out. I was able to resize on the fly with the data intact, and everything worked out perfectly. So little kinks here and there. I had to boot up into it for it to activate the files again, but it did work. So hopefully it'll work for you. And remember, if you liked the video, go ahead and click on subscribe to support the site, and also don't forget to rate the video. Even if it's a 3 or 4, it still helps.